where your feet are. So if you want to slide them out a little bit more or bring them in a little bit closer, it's totally up to you. And check in with your back. You can place your low spine on the mat by pulling your belly in towards your heart. And that'll lift the front of your pelvis and it'll root down the lumbar spine. So give that a try. And then relax your shoulders away from your ears so that you feel your shoulder blades press into the mat. And just start to breathe here. So bring your awareness and your attention to your breath. To make this a little bit more comfortable in your knees, you can pigeon toe your toes in to the center of your mat. That'll help to bring your knees a little bit closer together. Yeah, that's it, done. So knees come together, feet come to the edges of your mat. Yeah, that's it, right there. We'll take 3 more big breaths in and out through your nose or through your mouth. Just to tune into the quality of your breath today. Just seeing where it's landing. Maybe it's in your belly or in your chest. And take 1 more big breath in. And big breath out. Good, so from here, drape both of your knees over to the left side of your mat. So you'll take your left knee down and then your right knee will follow it. Keep your back flat. So you don't move your upper spine at all. You just take your knees and then rock them over to one side. That's it. You'll feel a little stretch in the outside of your right hip as you do that. Take your arms and bring them into a cactus shape. So 90-degree bend in both arms. And then press your forearms, the backs of your forearms, into the ground. Open up your hands. Good. Feel your shoulder stretch as you do that. And keep your back into your arms where they are. Take your knees back through center. Inhale. And exhale, bring them to the right side. So just gently drape them over to the other side, passing through center. Good. And this time you'll feel the outside of your left hip stretch. Keep pulling your left hip down towards the ground. Yep. So you can deepen that stretch. And come back through center. And then take your arms and wrap them around your knees, or you can take your hands to your shins. And bring your knees in towards your chest and feel a compression in the front side of your hips. Good job. And take your legs into a butterfly pose so the soles of your feet will come together. And depending on your hip flexibility, you may just need to hold on to your ankles here, maybe your shins. Yep, and then use your elbows to gently press your knees out and open up your hips a little bit more. Keep your upper back rounded and your chin tucked into your chest so you protect your neck. Keep using your elbows to gently press your knees open wide. And then take your hands to the outsides of your knees, close them like a book. Place your feet down and grab for your strap. So you may need to come up off the mat to grab your strap, that's okay. We'll meet back laying down. Bring your strap with you. You're gonna take your strap around the ball of your right foot, just actually right below the ball of your right foot. So you can make a little loop with your strap. And then your left leg will stay long and you'll get heavy through that left heel so your hip stays rooted. Good. Flex your right toes to your shin and using your arms, pull your foot closer to your face to stretch your hamstring and your calf. Keep your upper back rounded so you protect your neck and you don't crane your neck. So the back of your head is on the floor. And walk your hands up closer to your foot on the strap to deepen the stretch. If it's too much, walk your hands back down towards your belly on the strap. So you decide what, effort you want to put in here at this time. Then kick up through your heel, straighten your leg a little bit more on the right side. Okay, bring the strap into your right hand only. Take your left hand down by your side. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, gently start to draw your right foot out to the right, hinging your hip open like a door. Yeah, keep your upper back on the mat so you don't hurt your neck. And then stop where you're feeling a stretch. So you may not come all the way down, that's okay. Keep your left hip grounded. So you may take your left hand to your left hip and press your hip down so it doesn't pop up. And then we're gonna hold it here at your edge. So where you feel the deepest stretch, you're gonna hold the strap in your right hand and breathe. Keep your right toes flexed and kick out through your right heel. Yep, feel this in your hamstring and in your hip. And take 3 more breaths here, and then you can explore a little bit, maybe going a little bit deeper or maybe backing off a little bit. And then gently bring your foot back through center and then grab onto it with both hands. And then from center, we're gonna take it into the left hand and start to draw the leg across the body for an IT band stretch. So this one I feel right away. So I kind of stop and don't go down as far. So you kind of decide how far you want to go across the body with the foot, but strap in the left hand, flex the right toes and bring it across your body. Good. And kick your right heel out so you straighten your leg. Yeah, that's it, good. You want your leg as straight as possible. So if you start to bend your knee, that means you've gone too far. So bring it back a little bit closer to center. And we'll take 3 breaths here. Make sure you can breathe. The indication that you've gone too far is that your breath is stuck and you can't breathe as deeply, so notice. And then we'll come back through center. Take the strap off of that side and then place your right leg down. Notice the difference from one side to the other side. And this time we'll take it to the left side. So if that was too intense for you, you can keep your right foot on the mat, take the strap around your left foot, bring that up to the sky instead of lengthening through your right foot. So if your right leg is really long, it's going to be a deeper stretch. If you point your right knee to the sky and press your right foot down, it'll help a little bit more. So you choose what you want to do. Flex your left toes and kick up through the heel, straighten the leg. Start to guide your toes closer to your face. Strap comes into the left hand. Right hand comes to the right hip. Take a big breath in and then guide the left foot out to the left side. Taking your time and stopping at your edge. Good. Keep your tailbone grounded and your chin tucked into your chest. We'll take 3 breaths right here. Noticing the differences on your sides. Maybe this side is more flexible or less flexible. Then come back through center, slowly guide the foot back up straight from the hip, and then take the strap into the right hand. And you'll gently guide the foot across the body for an IT band stretch. So go as far as you feel that stretch in the hip on the left side, and then pause right there. Yeah, and kick out to straighten. Yeah, take 3 breaths here to even and balance. And gently come back through center. Take the strap off of your foot, place it to the side, and then just lay down. Like bring both legs out long, bring your hands by your sides. Notice how your legs feel. Building the body awareness with these pauses so that your noticing is turned on. And then bring your knees in towards your chest into a 90-degree bend, and you're gonna flex your toes. Yep. Take your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers, pull your belly down into the ground, contract it. We're gonna do little crunches here. So take a breath in, exhale, crunch up. Inhale, lengthen, drop the shoulders, then exhale, crunch up. Good, inhale, and then exhale. So you can keep this pace if you want to. Keep moving, keep crunching. If you want to take it a little bit slower to feel it, you can do that. Or if you want to take it a little bit faster for some cardio, you can do that. We're going to take 5 more, okay? So 5 more of yours. Make sure you're breathing. Keep your toes flexed and push your knees away from your face. Bring them over your hips. 2 more. Good. Bring your legs down. Hug your knees into your chest. And then take 2 rocks on your spine. So hugging your knees, rock up and then rock back. And then 1 more, rock up, rock back. And this time cross your ankles and come to a tabletop. So shoulders stack over the wrists, hips stack over the knees. Yeah, and just make your way to a tabletop. So we're gonna stretch out the wrists today in a different way. You're gonna take your hands, the backs of your hands to the ground. Your palm is gonna face the sky. So it's gonna look like this, okay? The back of your wrist will face the front of your mat. Both hands will be like that. Spread your fingers out really wide. And then if you're feeling it already, you can stay right here. If you want to go a little bit deeper, gently, gently start to draw your hips back towards your heels. Yeah, good. Try to straighten your arms as much as you can by pressing into the backs of your hands. Now, if you're at a computer or driving, that sort of thing, this may be pretty eye-opening. So breathe a little bit. Take 2 more breaths, hold the stretch, feel it in your wrists. Good, last breath in. And then let it go. Flip your hands back over so that your fingers point towards the front of your space. Yeah, and then feel your wrists. So take little rocks forwards and back. Gripping through your fingertips, bringing your chest towards the front of your space, and then your hips back over your heels. You can make this small or you can make this pretty big. I'm just rocking forwards and back so that I give a little bit of relief to the wrist stretch that we just did. Okay. Then pause at center, pull your belly up and in. Stay here or come to downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under, press your hips up and back. The downward facing dog, gazes between the feet. Fingers are spread out really wide, and then you're gripping the mat with your fingertips so that you feel your hasta bandhas, which is really your hand lock on your mat. And we want that so you don't slip. So grip through your fingertips, draw your heels down to the mat, and then relax your shoulders out of your ears. So squeeze your shoulder blades into your back. Yeah, use your blocks if you need to. And take your gaze up to the top of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, step your feet up. Take little tiny baby steps. So hips are over the heels for ragdoll pose. Grab opposite elbows, sway side to side. If your legs are feeling tight, you can take your blocks underneath your hands and just drop your chest towards your thighs. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Make sure to breathe. And come to stillness. So if you're swaying, press down through your feet. Look between your ankles and then drop your chest all the way down. Good. Lift up halfway, press into your thighs, pull your heart forward, take a big breath in. Exhale, forward fold. 2 more like that. Inhale, lift up halfway, and glide your shoulders down your back as you do that. And exhale, forward fold, chest to thighs. Good. This time, lift up halfway. Pause for a moment. Let your air out. And then pull the front of your head to the front and your tailbone to the back. Feel the opposing motion in your spine. Take a big breath in. And exhale, fold forward. Rise up to mountain pose. Lengthen all the way up. Grow tall. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come through heart center. At halfway lift, press into your thighs. And step your left foot all the way back. We'll take low lunge. So if you have your blocks, place them on the outsides of your right foot. Keep your chest lifted. Good. Drop your left knee down. Untuck your back toes for crescent moon. Take your blocks by your hips. Slide your left hip flexor down. Deep bend through your right knee. Right, so we're going to stretch out the psoas and the quad. If you're feeling good today, you can take your biceps up by your ears to deepen the stretch. Yeah. And then if that doesn't work, just bring the hands back down. You don't have to stay if it doesn't feel good. You take what works best for you. Let's focus on the drishti, the gaze today. So where you're looking is important in each pose. For this pose, look straight out in front of you on the horizon and soften your gaze. Okay, take 2 more breaths here, drawing the left hip flexor down and keeping the gaze locked right out in front of you. If your hands are up, bring them down to your blocks. Slide your blocks out and then come to half splits. So flex the left toes, guide the right hip back, hamstring stretch. You'll fold over your right thigh. Yeah, so like when we were doing on our backs with the strap, keep your right toes flexed and active. This will help to deepen the stretch in the hamstring. And then keep your left hip over your left knee so they're in one line. Take your right thumb to your right hip crease. Gently push your right hip back to the back of your space. Now keep your hip right there. You can place your right hand back onto your block. So you just gave yourself a little assist to help your hips stay in the place where they should be for the pose. So if you ever feel the hip creeping back up, take your thumb into the hip crease, guide it back so that it's in line with your left. Good job. Then bend back through your right knee. Untuck your back toes, come to low lunge again. Good. And step both feet back and take your blocks underneath your hands. You're going to be in high plank with the blocks. Now, if this is too much on your core, you can drop your knees down. If not, try to stay in high plank and build your core strength. You can change the height of your blocks. If this is too much on your shoulders, you can drop your knees and place them at a lower level and put your hands there. So kind of decide, but we're going to stay here for 3 breaths today to build the core strength. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. 2 more. Inhale through your nose, pull your belly in, exhale through your mouth. Last big breath in, exhale, downward facing dog. Just draw your hips back, press your hands into the blocks. Good job. Yeah, you can always drop your knees down. Now we'll do that all on the other side. So inhale, look to your hands, and exhale, step your feet up. Take as many steps as you need to. Halfway lift, press into your thighs. Forward fold, exhale, let it go. Rise up to mountain pose. Lengthen through your side bodies. And then exhale, pull your hands to heart center. Bend your knees and fold forward. And take your hands to the blocks. Step your right foot back for low lunge. So we're switching it off to the other side. And then drop the right knee down. Bring the blocks back to the hips for crescent moon, Anjaneyasana. And keep your shoulders stacked over your hips wherever you are, with blocks or without blocks. And guide your right hip point down to the ground. If you'd like to take your biceps by your ears, and you did so on the other side, do it here to balance it out. Good. If your arms are up, spread your fingers out really wide, like you're shooting lasers out of them. And then pull your thumbs back. So your biceps, yeah, mom, that's it. So your biceps come back by your ears, good. Take 2 more breaths, gaze is at the horizon. Drishti set. It helps with focus when we just look at one point. And then take your hands to your blocks, slide them forward. You can tuck your right toes under and then flex your left toes so your left hip comes back for the hamstring stretch. Half splits. Now this time, take your left thumb into your left hip crease and feel it, like your thigh is squeezing your thumb and your hip crease is squeezing it, and then pull your hip back. Yeah, so that left hip glides back in line with the right. You can keep your thumb there if it's starting to pop up, or if it feels good, you can bring your hand back to the block. Good. Flex your toes back towards your shins. So what that means is pull your toes up towards your ankle. Good, 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 good. Now tuck your chin to your chest. Take your drishti to the ground. Your gaze straight down. Bring your chest over your thigh, fold. Aha, nice dad, that looks great. Good job. Then bend through your left knee. Come back through low lunge. Lift the back knee up off the mat. You can place hands on blocks. And step back to high plank. You can use your blocks. Pull your belly in. Let's develop the core strength. If the blocks are too high where you have them, put your knees down and then switch the height. Bring them lower. Depends on what you want, what works for your wrists. Press your hands into the blocks, look forward. So drishti is in front of you. And then take 3 breaths. If you need to drop the knees, drop them down, but then come back up for this last one. Big breath in. And exhale, downward facing dog. Hips come up and back. Good job. So we'll move through that breath to movement a little bit quicker to get out of your mind and into your body. So inhale, gaze to the top. Exhale, step your feet up to your hands. Halfway lift, press into your thighs. Exhale, fold forward all the way down. Rise up to mountain pose. Lift your arms up by your ears. And exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, come all the way down. Good, hands come to your block. Step your left foot back for low lunge. Drop your left knee down. For crescent moon, slide the blocks back to your hips. Point your right toes straight out in front of you to 12 o'clock on a clock face. So if they're turning in or out, bring them straight forward. Good. Take an inhale. Then exhale, half splits. Flex your right toes. Slide your hips back. Good work. Nice, Dad. Bend back through your left knee. Untuck your back knee. Lift it. Low lunge. And then step back to high plank. So right foot comes back to meet the left. Good, just for a moment this time. Yeah, you got it. Take your time. And then downward facing dog, hips up and back. Good, other side. Look to the top. Step your feet up to the top. Halfway lift, press into your thighs. And forward fold, drop your chest down. Hands come to your blocks. Big step back with the right foot. Low lunge. Then drop the right knee down to the ground. Anjaneyasana. Block slide back towards the hips. Lift through the chest. Good. Good, Nancy. Big breath in. And then slide hips back. Flex your left toes. Hamstring stretch. Half splits. Yeah, good. Flex those toes. Bring them back towards your ankle. Yeah, that's it. Good. Then bend through your left knee for low lunge. Straighten your right leg. And take both legs back for high plank. And downward facing dog. Good work. Drop your knees down. We'll take a little water break. So that was our first little flow. Today we're building the core strength that you'll need for what's called chaturanga. So as we take some water, I'll explain what that is. Chaturanga is a transition that we use in yoga to get from one pose to the next or one flow to the next. High plank is the first step in that transition. So the first thing that you want to do in order to get that transition down is to be able to hold a high plank. You can do chaturanga with your knees down. I'll show you that next week. But working on high plank is really the core of that transition. So that's why we're doing that today. So little by little, we're going to learn the whole thing. If high plank is challenging for you, you can use the blocks. And I notice that when they're at the highest height for me, it's a lot on my shoulders. So I like to bring them down to a lower height. So you can always give that a try. All right. So we're going to start in mountain pose for this next flow at the top of your mat. So reach your arms up overhead. Take a big breath in. Good. Stay here in mountain pose for a minute. Let's work on the feet. Lift up all 10 toes. Press your big toe mounds into the ground and the center of your heels into the ground. Place your toes back down on the mat. Lift your kneecaps up towards your hips. Pull your front ribs together. Pull your belly button into your spine. Lift your fingertips up to the ceiling and spread them out really wide. Good. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, you're going to round and curl into a little ball. So if you're not sure, watch me. Bend your knees. Bring your hands down to the ground. Lift your heels. It's called ball of yarn. So you're balancing on your toes. Yeah, if you need your blocks, they can come under your hands for stability. But this is a toe stretch, and it's also balancing. You're balancing on your toes by lifting your heels up to your butt. Good. Place your heels down. Inhale halfway, press into your thighs. And exhale, forward fold. So we're going to do that 2 more times. If you didn't get it first time, no worries. You can watch me again. Inhale, lift up to mountain pose. So all of those same things, practice them here. Press through your feet, lift your kneecaps, pull your belly in. Then exhale, you're going to come into a little ball and lift your heels. Take your time. Hands come to the ground. Heels lift up to your butt. Good. Bring your hands and feet down. Inhale halfway, press into your thighs. Exhale, fold. Good, 2 more times. Think less and just move. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, curl into a ball. Put your hands on the ground. Lift your heels. Inhale, lift halfway. Press your heels down, hands into thighs. Exhale, forward fold. Last time through. Inhale, reach up, mountain pose. Exhale, curl into a little ball, hands into the ground. Lift your heels, ball of yarn. Good, bring your heels down, lift up halfway, press into your thighs. Exhale, forward fold. Good job. Take your hands on your blocks, step your left foot back at an angle so that the toes are 12 o'clock on a clock face. We're gonna set up for warrior one. Right knee bends, knee over the ankle, arms come up to the sky. Good. Press through the outside of your left foot. Take up more of your mat. So you want your right toes close to the front edge of your mat. You want your left toes 3/4 of the way down your mat at a 45-degree angle. Take your hands to your hips. Right thumb in the right hip crease again. Slide your right hip back and press your left hip forward with your left hand. You want your hips squared straight out in front of you. Bend more through that left knee. Good, now take your hands up to the sky. Full warrior one. Mom, take your right hand back to your right hip crease and press your right hip back and your left hip forward. You want your hips squared straight in front of you. That's it. That looks better. Good, big breath in. And big breath out. Take your hands down to the blocks for pyramid pose. So another hamstring stretch today. We've done this one before. Fold over your right leg and then look back. So your drishti, your gaze is at the back of your mat. Your legs stay the same as in warrior one, except your front leg is straight instead of bent this time. The blocks come to the outsides of your right foot. So your hands frame your foot, your front foot. That's it, good. And see if you can drop your head a little bit more to fold deeper over your right leg. Good work, you guys. Good job. And take your gaze forward, bend your right knee, and then step your left foot straight back. So you have a nice long stance for low lunge. Then spin open to star pose to the left side of your mat. You can move your blocks, big starfish. Good, so you're gonna take a wide stance facing the left side of your mat and making a big X with your body. You want your legs out as wide as you can. Good. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, goddess pose. So we're gonna turn the toes out to 45, heels come in, hands will come to inner thighs. Big, deep stretch. We did this one last week. So I'm rocking back and forth because this can get a little intense. You can do that too if you want to. If you want to just hold it, you can just hold it too. But make sure your toes and your heels are in one line and your knees are following your toes. Good. Bring your hands to your inner thighs and inhale, lift the crown of your head to the sky. Then exhale, drop your right shoulder to the center, look to the left side. Good. Inhale, come back through center with your torso. Keep the bend in your knees. And then drop the left shoulder down, look to the right. Yeah, relax your neck, Mom, and your shoulders. And inhale, come back through center. That's it, really good, Dad. And exhale, you're gonna take the feet back in, hands come to the hips. Fold over your wide legs. Hands can come to the ground. And then you can shimmy and shake your hips from side to side. Feeling it out. And then come to stillness. Hands come underneath your shoulders, or you can grab for your ankles or for your shins. Yeah, hands can also come to blocks, that's right. Lift up halfway with your chest on your inhale. On your exhale, crawl forward, take your blocks with you if you have them to the front of your mat, and bend your right knee for low lunge. Blocks frame the front foot. Yeah, right foot will step forward, left foot steps back. Inhale to high plank. So we're gonna try that again. You can always drop your knees if you need to. And exhale to downward facing dog. Good work. We're gonna do that on the left side this time. So take your left foot up behind your block or your left wrist. Your right foot will come out to 2 o'clock on a clock face, 45-degree angle. Bend your left knee over your left ankle and take your arms high to the sky for warrior one. Good. Look at your front toes. If they're turning in or out, make them straight out in front of you, 12 o'clock on a clock face. Good, good work. Your hips look great, Dad. Take your hands to your hips. Just make sure, double check. Left thumb and left hip crease, guide it back. Right hip, guide it forward. Good. That's it, Nancy. Really nice. Now you can take your arms back overhead for warrior one. And then hands come to the block. Straighten your left leg for pyramid pose. Frame your foot with the blocks or with your hands. And deeply fold over your left thigh. Look towards the back of your space. Drishti set there. Put your attention on your breath, in and out through your nose or your mouth. Good work. Take the bend back into your left knee and then big step back with your right foot for low lunge. So you're taking up most of your mat with your legs. Star pose to the right side of your mat this time. So big X with your body. Then exhale to goddess pose. So toes turn out to 45, knees in line with the toes. Hands can come to the inner thighs, or if you'd like, you can place your hands at prayer and heart center. Good. Start to lift your right heel. You can give this a try. It may not work, but see it, just see. Lift your right heel. Good, then put your right heel down, lift your left heel. You may hear like cracking in your feet. That's what's happening to me. Then place your left heel down, lift your right heel. I needed to see you. Good, place your right heel down, lift your left heel. Yeah, one more time. Left heel down, right heel up. Right heel down, left heel up. Good, drop them down and then inhale, come back to star pose. Turn your toes in, bring your hands to your hips. Good. This time, gaze is gonna be straight out in front of you. You're gonna lead with the center of your chest and swan dive over your leg. So big swooping movement down. Then hands come underneath your shoulders. Nice work. Good, so we're gonna change it up here this time. Left hand comes to the center of your mat, either on the floor or onto a block. Right hand will twist up to the sky. Keep your wide leg stance. Good job. Switch it out. Right hand to a block or to the floor. Left arm comes high to the sky. Take the twist. Good, one more time. Left hand down. Inhale the right arm high, and then gaze, drishti, looks up to the thumb. Good, bring that hand down, other side. Inhale, left arm high, gaze set to the top thumb. Good. Exhale, place it down. Inhale, lift up halfway with the chest. And then crawl forward to the top of your space. Take your blocks with you. Left knee is bent for low lunge. Right leg is back. Good. Plant your hands and step your feet back to high plank. Stay here or drop the knees down. Good. If your knees are dropped down, come to the very tops of your knees so that your pelvis is starting to tilt forward, and then pull your belly in. Good. Watch me. Bend your elbows. Chest comes all the way down to the ground. So you're really long on your mat. And then untuck your toes and straighten your legs. Yeah, good. We're on our bellies. We're going to take cobra pose from here. So thumbs slide back down your rib cage to the middle of your rib cage. T-Rex arms, elbows point to the sky, and then bring them in towards your side bodies so you feel your shoulder blades pinch in towards your spine. Now press through the tops of your feet. Press through your hands. Inhale, lift your chest up, cobra pose. Good. Exhale, bring your forehead to the ground. We're going to do that 3 more times. So get heavy through your hips. Press the tops of your feet down. Inhale, lift up to cobra pose. Lift your chest. Good. Exhale, bring it down, forehead to the mat. 2 more times. Inhale, cobra pose. Peel your elbows into your side. Exhale, bring your forehead down. Good, last one, cobra pose. Inhale, peel your chest up. And then exhale, bring your forehead down. Good job. Slide your hands down by your sides. We're gonna do some back work now. So we're gonna take locust pose. On your inhale, you're gonna lift your hands and your feet up off the mat and fly like Superman. So big breath in, lift up. Hands and feet, fly. Go ahead, inhale to lift. Press your fingernails to the sky and your heels to the sky. Unclench your glutes and lower all the way down. Left ear comes to the mat. Take a few breaths in and out. All right, we'll do that 1 more time. So chin comes back to center. Palms press down, hands come right by your side. And inhale, lift up to locust pose, fly like Superman. Activate your lat muscles, inhale to lift. Good, look straight out in front of you. Let your breath go, stay here. Lift a little bit higher, take an inhale. Then exhale, bring everything down, other ear to the mat. Look to the other side. And take a few breaths here, catch your breath. Good work. And then bring your chin back to center. Hands come by your ribs. Press up to a tabletop position. Stay here or downward facing dog. Hips come up and back. Good work. Inhale, look to your hands. And then step your feet up to your hands. Halfway lift, press into your thighs. And then forward fold all the way down. Good, rise up to mountain pose on your inhale, lift all the way up, come to stand. And bring your hands down by your sides, take a little rest. We'll break for some water. This little sequence here that we're about to do is our standing balancing. So what we've been working on each class. If your balance is a little challenged, go by a wall if you have that. We're gonna do a new standing balance pose today called standing figure 4. Wall is helpful for this one. So if you have a wall or a window or something by you, take your right hand and press it into the wall or to the window. Okay. I'm just pressing into my window right now through my curtain. Yeah, good. Bend your knees like chair pose. Your hand will slide down that wall or window. Take your left hand to your left hip. Keep your chest lifted. Good. Press into your left foot and start to bring your weight into your left foot. Then take your right ankle over your left knee. And sit down into that chair. Yeah, use that wall or that window, press into it. So your ankle actually comes and rests on top of the knee. So it looks like this with the legs. Okay. Good. Yeah. Hold it for as long as you can and then come back to stand and try it again after a few breaths. So this is the fullest expression where you have your hands at heart center. It takes a lot of balance though. So that's why I suggest the wall or the window to start. It's a good hip opener though. So come back to stand and we'll do it on the other side together. Good. Shake that out. Reset your mind. And then focus your gaze. So look at one point. That really helps with stability. Then take your other hand to the wall or to the window, to your left hand. And then you'll bend your knees like you're sitting into a chair. Keep your chest lifted. And load the weight into the right leg. Take the left ankle up and above the right knee to rest. Then sit the hips back like you're sitting into a chair. Big hip stretch here. Yeah. Good work. And when you're ready to come out of that, come to stand. Good, 2 breaths, and then we'll try it one more time on each side so you can really, really feel it. Yeah, so switch the orientation. We'll start right hand on the wall. So press into the wall, hips come back and down, sit into a chair. Start to load weight into the left leg, so press down through the heel and the big toe mound. Take the right ankle up and above the left knee and flex those right toes. So we've been doing that a lot today. Keep the foot active. Sit the hips back and down like chair pose. Good job. Yeah, see if you can get a little bit lower in the hips. That's it. Then we'll come back to stand and take it to the other side. So left hand presses into the wall. Sit into that chair. Load the right leg with weight. Then left ankle over the right knee. Yeah, and you can assist it and bring it there with your hands. Flex the toes and sit back in that little chair. Good. Yeah, nice, Nancy. Really good. Yeah, set that gaze. Good job, Mom. And uncross the legs. Come back up to standing. Shake all of that out. Good work. Yeah, and that one is actually funny because that's a standing balancing pose where you actually deeply bend that standing knee. Very different than what we usually do when we try to keep just a slight bend. So that's called standing figure 4. We'll take that all the way down to the ground and we'll do a variation of that called seated figure 4. So I'll show you all of the figure 4s. Take your left foot on the ground, out at an angle. So you're gonna slide the toes towards the front of your space. And then take your right ankle up and over the left knee, just like we did when we were standing. And your hands will come back behind you. And then take that right knee out away from your face. Good, so this is basically what you were just doing when you were standing up, and now we're sitting down. To get a little bit deeper of a stretch, slide your left heel back towards your glute. That's gonna deepen it a lot. If that is too much, walk the toes back towards the front. Kind of find your sweet spot. So you wanna feel a stretch, but you don't want it to be too intense. So kind of find a happy medium. And then you can rock side to side with that right knee. And floss out that hip joint. Good. If this is feeling pretty good and you're like, yeah, I could do some more, you press down through your hands, take your hips back and forward. This will also help to stretch out the hip. If you want to, you don't have to. You can just stay where you are. Good. And come to stillness. See if you can slide that left ankle a little bit closer to your left glute muscle. Take 3 breaths. Good. And then we'll uncross the legs. We'll take it over to the other side. So to set up, the right toes will come towards the front of your space. Left ankle will come up and over that right knee. You can use your hands to bring it there, and then take your hands behind your back for support. Slide your right heel back towards the glute, and then pull your left knee away from your face. So you want to open it out to the side. Flex your left toes. And then you can rock side to side if you want to. Find some movement. Or you can press through your hands, take your hips up and back. Whatever feels good. Just make sure you're breathing. So if you stopped breathing, bring the breath back in, flex the left toes, then walk the right heel closer to the glute for the last 3 breaths. Find your edge. Good. Press the right foot all the way down so it's sealed on the mat. Good. 2 more breaths. Last one. Good work. Uncross the legs, bring them out really long. So we're gonna sit up nice and tall for one more stretch before we get onto our backs. Take your strap, place it around your feet. Pull on the strap with both hands, sit up, shoulders over the hips. Good. Take a big breath in, look forward. And on your exhale, start to fold forward with the chest. So bring the chest closer to the thighs. You can walk the hands up the strap towards your feet for a deeper fold. And kind of just see what works for you. You know, what's your edge and what's comfortable, what's not comfortable, what's painful, what's not painful. So you go to the space that works for you. Flex your toes. Good. 3 breaths here. Now release through the strap. Bring your chest back over your hips. Strap comes off to the side and then come all the way down onto your back. Hug both knees into your chest once you arrive. Give yourself a squeeze. And then bring both knees to the left side of your mat for a twist. So your right hip stacks over your left. Right arm comes out to a T. And then get the neck stretch in, look to your right fingers. Yeah. Bring your breath back in. Gaze is either over your fingers or on the ceiling. Soft gaze. And come back through center with the knees, pull them into your chest. And even out the twist, knees to the other side, left hip on top of the right. Look over to your left fingers or to the ceiling. Yeah, so both shoulders are on the ground. Yeah, that's it. So upper body is flat and you're just twisting from the hips. Yep, that's it, good. And gently come back through center. And you can come to Shavasana, or if you want to finish where we started, constructive rest. Knees in together, toes pigeon-toed, heels out to the edges. And find your final rest. And if that doesn't work, lay all the way down for the last 2 minutes. Shavasana. This time is important to reap the benefits of your practice. Find stillness for yourself. Focus on your breath. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can roll out your wrists and your ankles. And take both feet to the mat, knees to the sky. Rock your knees to one side. Fetal position, use that bicep as a pillow. And gradually make your way up to an easy seat, cross-legged in the middle of your mat. And sit up nice and tall and bring your hands to your heart center when you arrive. Relax your face, the space between your eyebrows. Unclench your jaw. And take a big breath in through your nose. Exhale out of your mouth. Bring your thumbs to the center of your forehead. The wild-hearted yogi in me respects and honors the wild-hearted yogi in you. Together we say, Namaste. Good job, you guys. Lots of new stuff today. I'm asking to unmute you.